Welcome to this lesson in which we're going to discuss some word problems and inequalities. What I'd like you to do is first take a note at some of the key words for inequality word problems. We have 4 different symbols that we use. This symbol will stand for more than or greater than in a word problem. Here's where we'll be given this symbol when we see at least, greater than or equal to, or maybe it's a minimum. There's symbols for fewer than or less than. And this one we'll see at most, not greater than, or is not more than. Take a note of this. If you want to pause the video right now, pause it, take some notes. We're going to dive into a couple of examples right away. Okay. You have a $540 gift card to Best Buy. You decide you would like to spend the entire gift card on movies and video games. If each movie costs $30 and each new video game costs $60, how many movies and video games can you buy? Write and graph an inequality for the possible number of video games and movies you could purchase. We're going to stop right there. With each of these inequality word problems, we're going to write an inequality in the standard form, where instead of an equal sign, it's an inequality. So we're going to use one of our 4 inequality symbols instead of an equal sign. The first thing we should establish is, well, what's going to be our x? What's going to be represented with y? Each of these problems is going to have 2 variables that are being talked about. In this case, we have movies and video games. So I'm going to say let x equal our movies and y equal the number of video games. So to come up with our inequality, it costs $30 for each movie. So that means we can buy 30 times x. If we buy 3 movies, then that's going to cost us 30 times 3. We don't know how many we're going to be able to buy with our gift card. We're also going to buy some video games. And each video game costs $60. So we're going to take 60 and multiply it by however many video games we purchase. We have $540 to spend on this with this gift card. So 540 is our end total. Now, we only want to spend the money that's on the gift card. We don't want to have to dig into our own pocket. So we want our 30x plus 60y, we want that side to be less than, or maybe we spend exactly 540. So now I've created this inequality in which we're going to be able to graph. We need to remember our standard form of finding our x and our y intercepts. So to find our x-intercept, I'm going to take 540 divided by 30, and that gives me 18. So I can plot the x-intercept along this axis at 18, and I know that's right there. Now our y-intercept, I'm going to go right here, is 540 divided by 60, which equals 9. So I'll count up to 9. That would be right here. Now the reason we have an L-shaped graph here is because we don't need any negative values. Negative numbers aren't going to exist when we're dealing with money and purchases. So I take my x-intercept, my y-intercept, take a ruler so you can have a little straighter line than that, but we connect them and there's the line of my graph. Now we got to determine which side do we shade. Oh, if you remember from our last lesson, we talked about picking 0, 0, putting 0 on the left, less than or equal to 540. That's true. So my shaded area is going to be this triangular area right here. So if you need any of this information, pause the video now because I'm going to erase it as we finish the second half of this problem. So we got our graph, we had our inequality. I'm going to rewrite it. Okay, it was 30x plus 60y less than or equal to 540. Now the second half of this question is, if you bought 8 movies, how many video games could you buy? Well, we can figure out the cost of those 8 movies. It's $30 for each movie. So if we take 30 times 8 and solve this equation, we can figure out how many video games we could purchase. So 30 times 8 is 240. Well, let's take away 240 from the total that we spent. You'll take that off the gift card, and we're left with 60y less than or equal to 300. And 300 divided by 60 leaves us with 5. We could buy 5, oh, not movies, we could buy 5 video games if we purchased 8 movies. Let's go on to the next one. You are getting ready to throw a fundraiser at your school. You are charging $10 for students and $15 for adults to attend the fundraiser. Through your ticket sales, you would like to make at least $1,000. How many of each type of ticket should you sell in order to reach your goal? Write and graph an inequality to depict the amount of tickets needed to be sold. I'm going to stop right there. So we're selling tickets. Again, let's establish what X is. Let's say X is going to be our student tickets. And let's let Y equal our adult tickets. Well, for each student ticket, it's $10. Then we're going to add in the fact that we get $15 for each adult ticket. And we want to make at least $1,000. So let's talk about what that means. If we want to make at least $1,000, then on our ticket sale side, this represents our ticket sale side, we would like that side to be bigger than or equal to $1,000 in order to reach our goal. So let's graph. X-intercept, 1,000 divided by 10. That's going to give us an x-intercept of 100. Y-intercept, 1,000 divided by 15. That is nice. That gives us 66.6 repeating. So the x-intercept, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this scale. I'm going to go by tens. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40. Here's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. There's 100. So we'll plot the x-intercept at 100. The y-intercept, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go by tens. 20, 30, 40, 50. Here's 60, 70, 80, so on. So if here was 60, that means 66.6. That's going to be somewhere in the middle there. And now we can connect them to make our line. Figure out which way to shade. We got 0 greater than or equal to 1,000. That's false. So we'd have to shade above. Pause it if you need any of this information. I'm going to erase it. The second half of our question asks, if you sold 80 student tickets, how many adult tickets would you need to sell? Well, if we sold 80 student tickets, we would make 10 times 80. Well, 10 times 80, that gives us 800, plus 15y greater than or equal to 1,000. We're going to subtract that 800 from our goal, meaning that we have $15 per adult ticket, and we only have $200 more to make. Divide by 15. 200 divided by 15 gives me 13.3. So that means if I need more than 13 tickets, I'm going to round this up, and we are going to say that I would need 14 adult tickets. If we went to 13, we would be just shy. Therefore, I need to round it up. And that would be my final answer.